Fights two no-names, beats them both.
How do you plan to make up for this disaster? Because let me tell you, the damage is done. No one's ever going to believe in a real fight again. And it's not just your reputations that are ruined. You've dragged the entire sport of boxing down with you. Congratulations, you've officially hit a new low.
Well, X has spoken. The fight was scripted. Everyone is talking about this on X. And the script was actually leaked on X a few days ago.
Fans shelled out millions for this hot mess. Pay-per-view? Sold out. Tickets? Gone. Anticipation? Through the roof. But what did we get? A fight so fake, even WWE fans were like, yeah, we've seen better. Jake strutted out with a $40 million payday. Tyson pocketed the $20 million and the audience was left holding the bag. An empty one, by the way. And then, just when you thought it couldn't get worse, a leaked script surfaced. Round by round predictions nailed it. Surprise, surprise. Furious fans are now suing, calling this what it truly was. False advertising at its finest.
Reason and one reason only, and that is the money. He's getting paid so much money to do this. So that tells me he's getting bought. So again, it is sad that someone like Mike Tyson...
Round one starts and we're all thinking, okay, maybe this won't be a disaster. Tyson comes in with his old school bob and weave, and Paul prances around like he's the second coming of Muhammad Ali. Tyson lands a couple of jabs, Paul throws a quick combo, and wait, is this real? Tyson's timing was so off it felt like he was boxing in slow motion. And Paul? He looked like he was just trying not to trip over his own ego.
Supposed to go down. So round one was supposed to go like this. The opening bell rings and Tyson, showing flashes of his old form, immediately stalks forward with his signature bob and weave style. Paul maintains distance, circling the ring cautiously. Tyson lands a few jabs, but Paul's youth shows in his superior ability.
Round and Tyson lands a solid left hook. The crowd goes wild for 5 seconds. Then reality hits again. Tyson's tank is already on E, and Paul, with all the energy of a kid hopped up on sugar, is bouncing around like it's a schoolyard fight.
Prime. Round two. Tyson comes alive, cutting off the ring more effectively. He lands a thunderous left hook to Paul's body that draws a collective gasp from the crowd. Paul weathers the storm, using his reach advantage.
By round three, Paul's ego was fully inflated. He lands a decent right cross that momentarily stuns Tyson. Tyson tries to fight back, but it's painfully clear his trademark moves have turned into sluggish flails. Tyson tries to fight back, but it's painfully clear his trademark moves have turned into sluggish flails. Meanwhile, Paul is strutting like he's just KO'd the ghost of Muhammad Ali. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. For Tyson. For Paul. For boxing. Tyson himself didn't even try to hide it. He straight up said, "I did it for my bills." Think about that. The man who once ruled boxing, reduced to taking part in a scripted circus just to pay his expenses. It's tragic. Tyson walked away with $20 million, sure, but at what cost? His legacy? His dignity? Honestly, it's heartbreaking to watch a legend stoop this low.
Reason and one reason only, and that is the money.
I'm just fighting to take care of my bills, basically. I don't have the stomach for this kind of no more. I'm more conscious of my children and those guys looking at my appearance. I don't have that ferocity. I'm not an animal anymore.
Does that mean we won't see you fight again?
Yeah.
Imagine, it's like ordering a luxury meal and being handed stale fast food. And if the fight itself wasn't bad enough, the leaked script made it even worse.
First and foremost, Mike Tyson, it's such an honor. Let's give it up for Mike, bro. He's a legend. He's the greatest to ever do it.
However, in another...
Fans didn't just feel cheated, they felt played. The match unfolded exactly as the script predicted. The leaked script made it even worse.
First and foremost, Mike Tyson.
The match unfolded exactly as the script predicted, fueling suspicions that the whole thing was choreographed. And honestly, how could anyone believe otherwise? This wasn't a fight, it was WWE without the pyrotechnics. Fans dubbed the fight boxing's biggest joke and called out both fighters for staging what many saw as a glorified exhibition. And the lawsuits? Oh, they came rolling in.
Well, X has spoken. The fight was scripted. Everyone is talking about this on X. And the script was actually leaked on X a few days ago.
want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Racha HaKodash, and double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of Great Millstone. Honors as well to you brethren, you fellow supporters of the truth. That includes you brothers and sisters that support the truth, right? And shalom to the elect. So anyway, as you see in the intro, I saw this, everyone is trying to sue for this fight. And my question is, I have no idea why. What did they expect? It's all entertainment, It's all entertainment. And really in this lesson, I want to show you, just reading some articles, and it makes sense that there was corruption in the Roman Empire doing the same thing, right? And setting up staged matches and fixing matches, and over time as it started to fall, really it was like at once upon a time fighting to the death, and then they start realizing, these are great warriors, right? And they started losing the capability to get good warriors. So if they found a good warrior, right, they would have them fight again. They had a thing called yield, and they would fight again, best 2 out of 3 matches, and they had referees and so forth. So everything you see here in America and how it goes, right, is how it went back then. The trading like they did in slavery, they're trading and selling gladiators, trading, right? Even in slavery, they made us out of gladiators, even in the time of slavery, where they would have us fight in the ring, and all the way on up to, what you see today, where you'll see someone get traded to a different basketball team or football team. They're really all gladiators, especially boxing and football. These are basketball. These are all kind of gladiator sports, right? So this is Rome all over again doing the same thing. I don't have much on this of Ecclesiastes 1:9. The thing that has been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done, it is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. So this fight with Mike Tyson and this guy, I don't remember his name, Jake Paul. This is showing you the watered down version of what America has become. It went from a talented sport, right? It went to a talented spectator sport of real talent, raw talent, and it's now been broken down to YouTubers. And the people, are so dumbed down that they would do anything for the entertainment. Right now people are just open for anything. You see the debates of Israelites, this debate, that debate, any kind of controversy that could be stirred up, people are going to roll with. So you have a situation here with Jake Paul, who come out of nowhere. He had a brother too, I believe. And I have no idea why Tyson got in there. And I figured, everybody can make a little money. I'm sure Tyson said he had to pay his bills. On some other interviews, he said he did it for his children. I guess why not? If people don't pay that kind of money and you get 20 mil, you really can't blame them, but everybody's going into morals and ethics. We already know what this place is, But anyway, let's go to, I just want to read a little bit on this. And it says, also it says here that gladiators had referees. So they had referees too, called summa rudis, right? They're trained gladiators were expected to observe professional rules of combat. Most matches employed a senior referee, summa rudis, right? And an assistant, shown in mosaics with long staffs, okay, to caution of separate opponent and some crucial point in the match. So whenever you go to those stadiums, all them stadiums are is coliseums, right? It's the same damn thing. It also says here that gladiators staged certain matches So like in the beginning, like I said, some were up to unto death, some wasn't. But as the economy started weakening, then they found a way, and then what they did is they would make more money off of one person keeping them alive than they had to go purchase someone else. And the people just wanted to see the staged event. You know, they wanted to see who could beat who. Right? Let's go. Let me read a little bit of this. It says, it was relatively common, but fixed or not, gladiator combats were carefully refereed, much like a boxing match. There were strict rules in the combat. There were occasional deaths, statistically speaking. Contrary to popular myths, most matches did not usually result in deaths or either a participant. Well, they got hurt, and they didn't, the top gladiators, from what I was reading, they got special care. Just like, your athletes today, they get the best food, because they're property. And what these people don't realize, if you're a professional player, then you are like cattle. You're like those racehorses. They feed you, make sure they take care of you, right? They put money in your pocket. This is why Job 9:24 says the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. This man is, when you look at it, he's able to take money and water it down like they did in Rome, but he's able to take money and create it out of create paper, and now he's been able to create it out of thin air. So when you got the world, it's not so much the money, because you do have the gold and the power, but it's about having that power to make money. It's like me taking a big stack of paper and say, yeah, I'm just going to make some money, some IOUs. Anyway, many of the gladiators fought in match. Gladiators were given best health care, bravery, right? If you sparred in the fight again. The Roman Empire, Commodus was so unpopular because he fixed the games, right, and gave the opponents unsharpened blades. Commodus, dressed as a god Hercules, Commodus so hated, killed by his own fellow wrestler, right? And it goes into the living conditions. There were certain elements to match fixing in the gladiator games. Naturally, this didn't include gladiators letting someone else kill them for a bribe, right? But it did involve less skilled or wounded opponents being sent against skilled fighters in their game, right? And this is why with some boxing matches, they gotta take that warm-up fight. They'll normally get somebody that's not very skilled just so they can tune up. And this is what you see with the Mike Tyson, which he's an old, kind of an old man now for boxing. And then they put Jake Paul there. Nobody could see that something was up with that. I don't know. There's just people today. What the scripture says? Let me go here. I think it's in Jeremiah. Okay. Let me say, this is Jeremiah 51:9. This is what just came to mind. We would have healed Babylon, but she cannot be healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up again, even to the skies. So there's nothing you can do for Babylon. This is Rome. Babylon, Rome, these are all those empires. So there's nothing you can do. So now what they've managed to do to get more of the hype going, they managed to put this guy Jake Paul with tune him up and had him fought some nobodies that we never knew just to give him a name, and then start having him fight more prominent fighters that done aged and retired 30 years ago. So I don't know, but that's what they managed to do, and it worked because people want the entertainment, and they used Mike Tyson to do it, right? And everybody was disappointed in the fight. You could see to me it was staged. I don't know what everybody else think, but yeah, his warm-ups and the way he was fighting, practicing, but then when he got out there and it looked like he threw a punch that you could pull back. It's like, that WWE, man. And I'm getting to the point that there is still some good fights and legit, you can tell the legit ones. But you can tell some of these things are being staged and set up. So anyway, much of the same is true of gladiatorial contests in ancient Rome world. We have a lot of different sources to help understand what gladiatorial sports was like. On the one hand, we have a lot of promotional and explanatory artwork, inscriptions, and portray gladiatorial combat as highly regulated, very ritualized, rule-based sporting contests. So I actually saw that movie Gladiator 2, which I didn't think as good as Gladiator 1, and then they had some things in there that just didn't line up, and then they kind of cut it short. It's like they ran out of money or something. I don't know the way the ending was. I don't know if I agreed with that, but it's much like what you see today. You know, they had to hype up the fight, hype up the sport for that great day of the fight, and people got tuned in, and they all came to see the fight, right? Sporting goods and matchups is a rules-based sporting contest with lots of different fighting styles. Referees watch for illegal or unsporting moves. Training regimen, so they had to train. It's a whole lot on here. So basically, I'm not going to go into all of it. It's just the fact that over time they needed the hype to continue. And as the finances in the Roman Empire, like the roads and the there was a lot of extortion, and this is why the Roman Empire fell. There was a lot. Well, the Lord took it down, but finances, the economy. This is why the Lord raises up empires and bring them down. It's always through military and economy, right? Gladiatorial combat was not designed to be super lethal all the time. If it had been, there would not be so many freeborn people who signed up for the gig. And it also goes in the fact that, I don't know if I brought that out before, that they would get people who criminals and get them to fight, and I don't know, it's a lot of different takes on it, but we get to the point. The Roman world was a different place from ours, which is not true. Life was shorter, harsher, more brutal. Even during the Roman imperial period, disease could take you at any time. That's like what we go on now. So I don't know why they say life ain't harsh and brutal now. Let me read another scripture. It was a whole lot on here. It says highly trained athletes were of immense value, right? With freeborn persons definitely enrolled to fight in the arenas. The sport had originally evolved out of blood sacrificial funeral rituals, duel to the death, right? And place it, the gods honor the deceased. And death in the arena was not an uncommon fate for a gladiator, even most skillful. So what was the sport of gladiator combat really like? How violent really was it? What was the chance that you would likely die if you stepped foot in the arena? Right? So it goes on to talk about a lot of it. I'm not going to go on and on. So, some got hurt and wasn't meant to die, but they wound up dying their wounds took them out. So let's go to Nahum 3:1. Woe to the bloody city, it is all full of lies and robbery. Right? The prey departeth not. It's all full of lies and robbery. What you see here is those elites, they're still doing the same thing that they did back in Rome, the Edomites. They set up the stage, and you don't see them or any of them or any like them of their kind in those arenas, right? They know that they're not us, and they believe that we're just meant for sport, kind of like they did Samson, right? We're just meant for sport, and they always had a thing for making us as a sport. And they did it in a time of slavery too. You know, Lacasas and Columbus and various others, the things that they did to us. Right? They always made a sport out of us, man. The picnic, pick a nigga, burl of laughs. You know, that's where you get that from. They get dropped in them carnivals and they'll drop in the barrel. They'll put the Jake up there and call it a barrel of laughs. They've always made a sport out of us, man. And that's because the Lord did it. The Lord said it in Deuteronomy 28. You know, you should be in astonishment. Verse 5, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts. Let me go on here. Verse 4, because of the multitude of the whoredom of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft, that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. Right? So this is why you'll see a child, he'll grow up and his idol is not Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. His idol is not even of anything dealing with religion to some degree. His idol is a rapper, right? Or an athlete, a gladiator. That's what he wants to be. And they made sure they removed good fathers out of the home so they could do that. You know, that's the point. But since I'm in Jeremiah, let's see what the Bible say about Jeremiah, what the judgment is coming on them that did this to us, man. Jeremiah 30:16, and we're going to make a sport out of them. Therefore, all that have devoured thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. You know, and that's pretty much to the point. You did it to us, it's going to come back to you. That's all I have on that. Shalom.